For 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Pruitt, for being here. As you know, I have the honor and privilege of representing the 1st Congressional District of Georgia, which includes the entire coast of Georgia. It also includes the Savannah Harbor. The Savannah Harbor Expansion Project is a $1 billion project, arguably the most important economic development project in our state's history next to the interstate system. It supports the infrastructure and economic principles that were laid out by President Trump. It is exactly that. This is what he has been talking about when he's been talking about investing in the infrastructure in our country. It is one of the most studied projects in the history of mankind. We started this project in the late 1990s. Since that time, 3 ports in China have been started and completed. Yet this is not completed yet. Back when you were here in December, I brought to your attention the Tier 4 emission standards that are being required for the harbor pilots and for their boats, and the problem that it was causing us then. You understand that unless we can get those ships in and out of port, it does us no good to invest $1 billion into this project. We have to have those harbor pilots and their vessels in order to get these ships in and out of port. Now, the Tier 4 emission standards, I spoke to you in December about those. This was after months of my staff and your staff going back and forth to discuss this. Since that time, almost 5 months ago, I've had the harbor pilots come up to Washington at their own expense and their own time to meet with your staff. Your staff was completely unprepared. It was a complete waste of time for the harbor pilots to be here. You gave me a commitment back in December that you would look into this. I need to know where we're at with this. This is extremely important for us. Can you give me an idea of where we're at with this?
First, Congressman, my apologies to you and your constituents if we weren't responsive, and that's the first I've heard of that, and I will check on that very issue. My apologies there. Secondly, as I shared with you recently, we are actually sending representatives, I think, to California to meet with the architect on the construction of the vessels to determine whether there's a way to
When will they be going to California?
I think this month. I think it's happening
this month, April?
May, I'm sorry.
May.
It's happening in May.
So next month.
Yes.
Can I have a commitment that we're going to get this fixed? Are you personally involved in this? Are you personally looking into this?
I am now.
You are now, as of today. But you told me you were in December.
Yeah.
Now you're telling me today. I want to believe you.
Yeah, so my communications to the team in December were to take steps, and apparently that's not been done.
That has not been done.
So I will be personally engaged on this going forward.
I certainly hope so, because, look, I want to help you, okay? Because I want you to help me. This is extremely important. This is, as I said before, the largest economic development project in the state of Georgia since the interstate system. We've got to have this done. If we don't have the bar pilots, if they don't have the vessels, and the manufacturers telling us that they cannot meet the Tier 4 emission standards and build these vessels that they need.
I think it's also a competitive situation with other regulations outside of our agency that are causing a certain type of vessel along with the engine. So there is work to be done.
I just need a commitment. Can I have a commitment from you that this will be resolved in 30 days?
You have a commitment for me to get engaged on this issue with our Air Office to find answers.
Can I have a commitment from you that you will get this resolved as soon as you can?
I will find answers to this within 30 days.
Okay, I can't stress to you how important this is. Also, the Tier 4 emission standards are causing problems with generators. They're not able to build the large 1 megawatt generators. And keep in mind now, I said I represent the entire coast of Georgia. We have hurricanes in Georgia, therefore we need generators. In fact, in one 11-month period, we had 2 hurricanes. They cannot make these. Will you commit to reviewing the Tier 4 standards to see if they're practical? And if they're rational?
Yes, I will engage in conversations around this issue with our office to see what the options are.
The last thing I want to ask you about is biobutanol. It's my understanding that you have a comment. I'm sorry?
About what, I'm sorry?
Biobutanol.
Okay.
This is one of the biofuels that is an alternative fuel. And it's my understanding that you have a comment period that's about to end at the end of April. Is that correct?
I can verify that.
Okay, well, please verify that, because as you know, the ethanol additives cause a lot of deterioration to marine engines. Biobutanol, as I understand it, is much better, much more compatible for marine engines, and we need that to come to market.
Is that a new-
When this comment period is up, I hope that you will act on it.
Is that a new pathway for advanced categories under the RFS? Is that what you're referring to?
Yes.
Okay.
Gentleman's time's expired.
Thank you, Mr.
Chair
Chairman.
recognizes the gentleman from Mississippi for 5 minutes.